All right, everyone. Now we continue. This is lecture now number 6, Principles of Management. And we continue and finish with the second half of chapter 3. Because the previous lecture was very long, this is going to be very, very short and sweet. So, what I finished last time is give you the idea about cultural differences, how people differ culturally, how they think differently, how they behave differently, and this is according to this Hofstede's framework. Now we're going to continue with the so-called globe dimensions, okay? And globe means global, leadership, organizational, behavior, effectiveness. So, G-L-O-B-E, that's globe. And globe has studied extensively how to analyze differences between cultures. And they look at what's called cross-cultural leadership behavior. So you're a manager. How you manage Arabs and Muslims and white people and Asians and Americans and Australians and Hong Kong, from all that. And they come up with basically 9 fundamental criteria, okay? One fundamental criterion is assertiveness. Is it part of the culture to assert itself, to demand? Is it part of the culture to push hard, okay? So, I'm coming in here, and I'm trying to do the right thing, okay? And the right thing is for my, as an example, for my other course in accounting. How many of you are studying accounting with me right now? Nobody? One student? So, and in accounting we don't have a textbook, okay? We don't have a textbook. So we need to order textbook, okay? And ordering textbook takes about 2, maybe 3 weeks, okay? Now the question is this. Do I go every day to the employee working here, to the administrator, and say, hey, what happened with the accounting textbook order, okay? And then go to the manager, department chair, and the dean say, hey, we need to get the textbook going, okay? So, do I just keep pushing and asserting to get the book within 1 or 2 weeks so that we can study? Everyone, please. Lecture already began, okay? So the question is, do I just keep pushing to do the right thing, to have textbook for you? This is part of assertiveness. Or no, assertiveness is, I don't do anything, I don't call anything, I don't bother, okay? And textbook may be coming up with week number 2, or week number 4, or week number 6, or maybe the textbook doesn't even come at all, okay? So the question is, how assertive people are to get the job done. In some cultures, people are very assertive, okay? And if you get the job done, you will be rewarded, okay? But in other cultures, they say, no, assertiveness no good. You're creating conflict. We don't want conflict here, okay? So, you have different cultures and you have different mentality. Same thing about future orientation, and we spoke in the previous lecture about how Finland maybe is in between. Germany is relatively long-term oriented. Japan is relatively long-term oriented. Another culture in country which is very long-term oriented is Norway. The Norwegians think about the future. They think about the long term. They think about their future generations. Today meaning the last 10, 20 years, Americans are not future oriented. They think about today. They want to make another war today. okay? They want to start a war in Syria, in Iran. 2 wars are not enough, okay? Afghanistan's not enough, okay? Iraq is not enough, okay? Corporations just want to make money now, even if they destroy their own future. So, you have very different orientation, and what's very important, the orientation can change. Everyone, okay. We still have class. We got about 10-15 minutes to finish for today. Let's finish, and then you can go and do your thing, okay? But not, if you want, you can go outside, do your thing outside, okay? And then watch the lecture on video, okay? But if you're inside, don't disturb all the others, okay? So, future orientation can change from time over time, sorry. So, in one decade, the country can be short-term oriented and over time can become long-term. Or more commonly, a culture could be very long-term oriented, and as the new generation grows, it becomes less and less and less short-term oriented. Like, the young generation gets spoiled, okay? That's becoming a relatively big problem for Asian economies, okay? Young generation in Macau is relatively spoiled, okay? Not working very hard, not studying very hard, okay? Young generation in Hong Kong is getting a little bit spoiled. Young generation in Taiwan is getting relatively spoiled, okay? We're gonna find out soon on quiz 1 and 2 how spoiled is the young generation over here, right? Exams will tell us. Number 3, gender differences. Some cultures have huge gender. Gender means differences between men and women, okay? In Saudi Arabia, the difference is so big that they don't even get together in one room. When I'm teaching in Saudi Arabia, the 2 of you, hello, hello. How about if you just separate one chair from each other, okay? Just separate one chair, yeah, a little bit far away. So I can finish in 10 minutes instead of being interrupted, okay? So in Saudi Arabia, you have what we got here. One room full of boys and only boys, we call them men, right? And no women in the room. And then on the next day, I have in the classroom women only, no men inside, okay? So they don't even mix. They don't even see each other, okay? Then in many other Arab cultures, women are high up and men are, men are high and women are relatively low, okay? In, let's say, many Asian cultures, men stand way above women and women must be submissive, okay? In American culture, women are practically equal. In Europe, they're very equal, okay? And especially in France, they're really, you have more women on big positions than men, okay? And that's not a big problem. I don't know how it is over there in Finland, but usually in Finland, Norway, Sweden, in all of these Nordic countries, men and women are practically the same, no differences whatsoever. In Bulgaria, in my home country, they're perfectly equal. You see as many women as men, they're treated completely equally. There's no difference whatsoever, okay? We don't see any difference, okay? Of course, it's all the same, right? You do the work, fine. Man, woman, it's all the same thing. Next, number 4, uncertainty avoidance is the same as I explained before. In some cultures, they don't want to take risk. They don't want to take uncertainty. In other cultures, risk and uncertainty is encouraged, okay? Same power distance. I already explained, I also explained in a different sense. Can you easily access the boss? Can you easily talk to the boss? Can you easily ask him, hey, the manager, hey, I'm doing this and that or whatever it is. So in different cultures, you just don't go and talk to the boss, okay? But in other cultures, it is encouraged. For example, in many corporations in the US, the manager will have what's called an open door policy. Means any employee can walk in at any time and say, well, boss, I got this problem, or I need this help, or I need someone to assist me about this or that. Like me going and asking, hey, what's going on with the textbook? Can we go ahead and see and find out? Because for accounting, I need textbook to teach accounting, okay? Next one is, we already discussed, some cultures are very individualist and other cultures are very, very collectivist. What about Germany, Deutschland? Is it mostly individualist or mostly collectivist type of culture? Germany. More like individualist. So it's in the middle, but a little bit closer to individualism, okay? In Great Britain, it's very individualist, okay? In the United States, it's very individualist. In Bulgaria, it's closer to individualism, as in similar to Germany. So in Europe, Europeans are somewhere in the middle, but a little closer to individualism. In France, they're a little closer to collectivism, okay? So you have different cultures. You can't expect, different people think different ways. Next one is in-group collectivism. Don't want to discuss this. Well, the other one is performance orientation. Performance orientation means some cultures are very focused on the result, on the outcome. Other cultures are not so focused on the result or outcome. The different way of saying is, hey, we're going to be using, let's say, Formula One racing. Some cultures and teams, they want to win the race no matter what, okay? They are very oriented for performance. In other cultures, they say, for us, it's important to participate. For us, it's important to do a good job, to do a good result. So some cultures focus about doing the right things no matter what the result is, okay? In other cultures, they don't care too much how right or how wrong the things are, as long as you get the job done, okay? This performance orientation is about getting the job done, okay? And in Japan, they're not very performance oriented. They are oriented about doing the right things. If it's got a good job, great. If it's not a good job, it's not a terrible problem. In the United States, they're Americans, very performance oriented, okay? The Americans, it's all about the result. Show me the result. Show me the outcome. And the last section is humane orientation. Do you care about the people? Do you push them hard so they work 12, 14, 16 hours? Or if someone is a little bit sick but's got an important job, you can say, well, take the day off and no big deal. We're just going to cancel the class, okay? Or something else. So some cultures are very focused on people, on humanity, caring about their own employees or customers. In other cultures, they don't care at all, okay? They just want to get the money, okay? They just want to use other people, okay? So, humane element is very different. All right. Discuss society's expectations about influencing managers, okay? You got the same happy smiling faces, right? No black people yet, right? That's here, okay? And social responsibility refers to a company's intention. So, whether the company wants to do the right thing and act good for society. Now, remember, I was explaining right or wrong depends on ethics. Right or wrong depends on culture, okay? In one culture, something could be right, in another culture could be wrong, and the other way around. You have to be very, very careful when you judge right or from wrong, okay? Because right in Thailand may be wrong in Japan, or the other way around. Right in Europe could be wrong here, okay? You actually get to see this a lot in here because you see a lot of foreign tourists. And do you see a lot of tourists doing a lot of wrong things around here? Do you see a lot of tourists doing a lot of wrong things? Well, the answer is, yeah, I'm sure you see a lot of things which tourists do wrong, but the answer is, it's from your cultural point of view. From a European point of view, they don't do anything wrong, okay? So you have to be careful when you judge people about right and wrong because it is different. Same thing about social responsibility. Social responsibility is about right and wrong. In one company, Chinese company coming here, is doing something which you think is terribly wrong, but for them it's okay, okay? Example will be Chinese company going somewhere in African country, I'm picking a name, Zambia, or I don't know, some Zaire or some other country in Africa, and they do business. They go, they extract from the mine, but the country is ruled by a terrible man who's a dictator who is really bad for his own people. And they say, oh, the Chinese are bad because they're supporting a bad person. Well, from the Chinese perspective is, we're not bad, we're not good. We're here for business, okay? We're here to make money, okay? We come, we invest, we're creating jobs for the local economy, we create roads, okay? We create hospitals, we create housing, real estate. We are doing business. And whether it's a bad dictator or a good guy, we don't care. It's business. We are not in here to do good or bad. We're here for, okay? We're not about politics, okay? We're not about social responsibility. We're about business, okay? And business is driven by profit, not good, not ethics, okay? So you have to be careful about good, bad, ethics, what's called morality, okay? These are totally different from business and profits. All right, why should be, so you know, this is a big table. I'll go very, very quickly. You know, companies should be socially responsible because the public expects them. You know, most people expect companies to do good and right, okay? If you do the good thing and if you do the right thing, number two, it is actually good for long run profits. If you're doing the right thing, and people think you're doing the right thing, you're going to get social support and you're going to get better. It's called customer response. Okay? Another one is just because they have ethical obligation. Well, companies should do the right thing. Okay? So, really good if you do the right thing, you get a good public image. I already discussed this last time. Good image makes for good business in the long run. Okay? The next one is better environment. You're going to get an overall better economic environment and social environment if you're simply doing the right things, okay? If you're a good company. Next one. It is discouraging further government regulation. Hey guys, how about if you also separate a little bit? Just a little bit. Move the chair a little bit because you can't just keep talking, right? Okay. I'm just, you know, I came from 10,000 kilometers far away. I fly 26 hours, okay? So I can give you a short little lecture here. Not you guys talk, okay? So, it is, if the company is doing good and the government thinks, oh, these are good guys, they're doing okay, the government is not going to regulate them too much, okay? But if they're the bad guys, the government will come after them. So it's better to be the good guy, and you're going to keep the government away from you. Then there's also a balance between responsibility. If a company is big, if it's powerful, it will be also responsible. Again, you have to understand that these things are totally different for Americans, and this stuff is totally different from French people, totally different from Bulgarians, totally different from Japanese, okay? So, for Americans, this can make perfect sense. And here in Asia, this says, yeah, this is all nonsense, okay? That's actually important for you to understand. That some of this stuff could be really important for you guys, and America is not important. Or the other way around. And of course, you have some reasons not to be socially responsible. If you're socially responsible, you're not going to be maximizing profits. In other words, running a charity, helping out a school, building a road. So a corporation doing some type of a good social work costs money. And if it costs money, it is not good for profits. Okay? So you have certain arguments for, and you have good arguments against. And it is a very good topic for quiz number 2. Okay? So a good question for you on quiz number 2 will explain some of the major arguments for and some of the major arguments against being socially responsible. Okay? That's a good question that you should expect on your exam. Okay? Next one. The importance of sustainability. What is sustainability? Sustainability means the company's ability to continue to achieve its goals. In other words, to continue to operate and to continue to increase long-term shareholder value. So, some companies are very, very sustainable, and sustainable also means viable or able to operate in the long term. And other companies don't care about sustainability. So sustainability means you care about long-term profits. And if it's unsustainable, usually what you do, you look for short-term profits, but you don't care about the long-term, okay? And sustainability, the key is you integrate economic and environmental and social opportunities. So, some businesses are very careful about sustainability. Examples of sustainable businesses or types of businesses which are focused on sustainability will be Japanese companies, very focused on sustainability. Some Singapore companies, very focused on sustainability. Many German companies, very focused on sustainability. They really care about the long term. So sustainability is very tied to long-term thinking, long-term opportunities, okay? So sustainability is associated with long-term. Few more minutes, discuss leads in ethical behavior. Okay, ethical behavior we see, okay. There are 3 fundamental different views of ethics. One is utilitarian view, the other one is the rights view, and the third one is theory of justice. So, ethics is about right and wrong. The utilitarian view is it good or not good? In the sense, is it useful or not useful? Okay? The rights view is people have rights. Can we violate their rights? Can we violate their rights in order to get a better collective good? So Western countries are focused on the rights. The individual has the right to freedom, the right to speak, the right to property, all sorts of rights. We call them back in the Western culture the Bill of Rights, okay? and Western culture is focused on the rights of the individual. More Asian culture is more focused on the rights of society. Society dominates individual. And the benefit of society is more important than the particular individual. And finally, there's a theory of justice you're going to read. That's another good question for the quiz. Which are and what are the different views, right? Which you will read in the textbook. Let's see also. That's probably the last topic for today. The major factors that determines ethical behavior. Number one is morality. Again, it's important to understand that what is moral here is not moral in Europe, okay? Morality depends on culture. Morality depends on ethics. Now, here what they say is the opposite. Ethics depends on morality, okay? What is moral in one religion is immoral in another, okay? Example, is it even moral to have 3 wives here, to be married for 3 women? Of course not. Well, not of course. Not here is the correct answer. Not in Europe is the correct answer. But in the Arab world, where Muslims, the religion says, it's okay to have 2 women. It's okay to have 3. It's okay to have 4. Up to 4. 5 is not okay, all right? So, it is part of religion. It's okay for their religion. So you have to understand that you have differences in morality from culture to culture to culture, from religion to religion, okay? You also have different in values, okay? In the Western world, we're very focused on personal or individual rights. Here, society values more, whatever, social values. Okay? Here, you value more authority as opposed to individual rights. Okay? So, ethics depends on the personality. Okay? Some kids are brought in a criminal environment, in a bad neighborhood. They are accustomed to beating each other. They're accustomed to stealing. Okay? So, they're brought with a bad type of personality. Again, bad from what point of view, right? Well, in another place, personality is very different. They're very helpful. They're very nice, okay? When I lived in the Arab world, I discovered that Arabs have very, very good personality. They will be helping you. They're very well raised, okay? Some of them are very well educated. They're very nice people, okay? So, you have personality affecting ethics. You also have experience, okay? A 20-year-old person will have very, very different ethics from a 30-year-old, from a 60-year-old. So, experience is in one person who's been in 8 different countries will have a very different experience in ethics than a person who lived all of his life in his own country, okay? So experience, as you see, from country to country to country, from job to job to job, as you grow older, people will change their thinking about right and wrong, about ethics. Finally, within a business, ethics will be determined by organizational culture. And the last one is whatever. Okay, this is good for today. Next time, maybe I continue with the chapter. Maybe I go with chapter 4. I'll check and see. Thank you very much.
Thank you.